Hi, Dylan. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, Dylan. So I've been reviewing your case, and after reviewing your case, I see that after this traumatic experience that you had that occurred, that you're a very brave person. And the reason I say that you're brave is because after a car accident, you're still able to get into a car. And not just get into a car to go to school for, the things that you have to do, but also able to get back into the car for things such as going to the movies, leisure activities. So that's a very good job. That's a good first step, Dylan.
Thank you.
As well, I saw that, you took the time to process with your teacher at school about the incident that occurred.
Yes, I did.
And your teacher, she gave you feedback about seeking treatment to, get help with this event that occurred with you.
Yes, it helped me a little bit.
Yeah. And also, I see you took the feedback simply because you're here today. So that's very brave of you because you didn't know what was to be expected of this treatment because, I didn't see any kind of records showing that you've ever had treatment. So for you to take that step at the age of, 15, Dylan, that's a big step that shows your bravery. So great job.
Thank you.
Okay, Dylan. So let's just go back a little bit. Looking at your trauma history, I saw that you're a witness to your sister's near death experience of her almost drowning.
Yes.
And I know, that must have been a very scary moment for you
Yes, it was.
because, you were only 10 years old. As well, I saw that about a month ago was the first anniversary of your grandfather's death, which I'm sure was a very emotional time for you. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear about that, Dylan.
Thank you.
So, Dylan, when things as the things you've been through occurs, it typically allows us to have a different thought process, which means that we tend to have bad thoughts or bad beliefs, such as I'm afraid, of the environment I'm in because, I'm starting to feel like I'm in danger or I'm not in control of myself because of the things that's going on around me. I can't stop these different things from happening. Or sometimes, we may feel helpless or powerless, but that's normal in your situation due to the things you have experienced because these are truly traumas. So, those thoughts are normal at this given time for you. And typically, once we have those thoughts, it usually leads to different feelings that corresponds with those thoughts, which is anger or anxiety. So, do you ever find yourself, having anger or a great amount of anxiety?
Yes, I do. Especially when I'm about to get into a car or when I'm getting around my friend and family.
Okay, so I would think when you say get into a car, it would probably be a trigger moment for you. So probably, the thought of, hey, we're about to go to the grocery store, so Dylan, you're going along with your family, to the grocery store. That's probably like a cautious moment for you. You become kind of cautious. So the anxiety hasn't begun to rise yet because it's only the thought of about to get into that car. But most likely, Dylan, once you get into that car and it cranks up and it begins to move, you probably start feeling the anxiety begins to rise up within you
It does.
because you're re-experiencing that moment each time you get into the car because you're not aware of what's about to happen because you have not any control of what's going on outside of you, but only what's going on, within yourself. And as well, I saw that, you took time out to go to the movies, but you weren't able to stay in the movie theater because it was so loud. So I find that to be another trigger moment for you. Do you find yourself sometimes with loud noises? Does it make your anxiety rise?
Yes, it does. It makes me feel very paranoid at times.
Okay. So, that loud noise that brings about the trigger for you is normal as well because you were in a car accident. Of course, when cars slam or collide into each other, it makes a loud sound. So those loud sounds are taking you back to that moment as well. So, as we go on with our therapy sessions, I will be able to, teach you how to cope with those different things of loud sounds or the point of being able to just get into a car.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, how are you finding yourself, coping with those situations?
Uh, Mostly I'm just taking my anger out on the people that are generally around me. Like I said, just like my family and friends, so those are the closest ones around me. And I take my anger out on them.
Okay, Dylan. So, what about driving? I saw that you had your permit. Have you began to drive any?
No, I don't. I haven't even thought about driving yet.
Okay. So what about the loud sounds? Do you find yourself listening to music at a higher volume now, or you tend to listen to it very like at a real low tone? Or
I typically listen to it at a low time.
okay, Dylan. So what you're basically experiencing right now is the aspect of the trauma that has occurred to you. You're finding your own way to cope with it. So right now, it's not saying that the way you're coping with it is healthy, but you found your own way to cope with it, with avoiding the loud sounds because you don't want to re-experience the moment of those loud sounds because it takes you back to that flashback of hearing those, the car you were in colliding into that SUV. It's well, you're avoiding the point of driving because you don't want to re-experience the point of the accident because this time it will be you'll be the one in that driver's seat, and that's a very scary moment for you, and that's very understanding feeling. But also, you said that you take your anger out on your family. So why are you taking your anger out on your family? Did you have any anger towards that person that was driving the car?
Yes, I mean it was just a tragic experience for me, and I felt like it was that person's fault.
Yeah. So right now, Dylan, what you're experiencing is that you weren't able to go and speak to that person about what happened. So right now you have all these built up feelings that are pushed down inside of you, which are, causing those thoughts and also those feelings. And now your behavior, which we call that, the cognitive triangle, which, goes from feelings to thoughts and then which leads to your behavior, which you're doing right now, which is pushing out those thoughts and feelings into your behavior of, you know, being very tempered with your family.
Yes.
So as treatment goes on, Dylan, we're going to work through all those things, and I will show you, or rather teach you, healthier ways to deal with those negative thoughts that you're experiencing and those negative feelings that you're experiencing.
Okay. Thank you.